On November 6, 2013, Joomla released the 3.2 with a ton of new features, and one of the biggest, or the biggest feature that people absolutely love and we're talking about it, is the content versioning. And I'm just going to give you the basics so you can understand how content versioning works. So here I have this article opened up, and if you notice here, you have the versions tab. So let's click on that. When you click on the versions tab, you see here in this column here, this are all the different versions that you have. In other words, every time that you create a page and you save it, it automatically keeps track of it here for you. So that way, if you want to come back to it later to edit it, or if you let's say you create an article and you make a mistake on one, but there's some information there that you wanted to retrieve. Well, in the old system, once you click save and close, whatever you save after editing it, that's what you were stuck with. So for example, if you messed up and you wanted to get the information back, you couldn't get it. But with the new system, with content versioning, it allows you to retrieve stuff from previous edits. So as you see here, it shows you the dates and around the time that the changes were made. This is really great if you have a site where you have multiple admins. This will allow you to track exactly who changed what, when it was changed. It shows you the character count. It shows you the author. So whenever someone changes something, it shows who changed that. It shows the time they changed it and the changes they made. So let's say you want to edit a particular version. I'm just going to click on this one. So let's say in this version, you have some information there that you want to continue editing. So you just click on restore, and it brings you to this page. It successfully restored that version of it. So you can come back here and you can edit it. Alright, let's go back to the versions. And once you click to edit something, it has that star there about to let you know that's the current default one. So let's go over to preview. You can preview what it looks like. So go to preview. And the preview allows you to see a ton of information for this particular item. It shows you the publishing start date, the finish date, who was modified by, the date. And once you scroll down here, it gives you any additional information. It shows you the number of hits. And then you can also compare. The compare feature is really amazing. So let's say you want to compare two articles that you've changed before, and you want to see the changes that were made. And once again, if you have several admins, this is important because it allows you to see who's doing what changes they made. So let's check all these three here and click on compare. Alright, so we've selected these, and now we're looking at compare. You can be able to see the changes that were made. And if you notice here, let's take a look at the full text. With this particular change, see how the text is laid out here? There's no gaps up here. But later on, I made a change, and you see this gap here, and made another change which left this whole space at the very top. And if the categories were changed, it will show you here what the categories were changed to. And it shows you the creation date for it for each version. It shows you who was created by. It shows you the date that it was modified by. And it shows you publishing, a whole bunch of stuff here. And it shows you approximately how many hits that they had, each version had. And if you have an SEO metadata stuff, it's going to show that here. So if someone modify those, you can also be able to see here. Alright, now let's take a look at the change the values. This just shows you the value changes that were made. So I mentioned before, you see the space at the very top here, the space at the top here. All the space. But this particular version that I had didn't have any space at the top. And this gives you a little bit much more the narrow thing, you don't see like a whole bunch of stuff more, but just the core things here, and it shows you how many hits. Alright, now let's take a look at the HTML. Whenever someone makes changes, this is going to show you what coding changes that was made. And it's very important, because if you have a website where you have multiple coders sometimes working on it, or you have different people changing things here and there, you can be able to check to see what changes were made for which version, for each version. So by understanding what changes were made for each version, if there's something in the coding that is causing problems, or you want to change, or for whatever reason, you can click on the show HTML here, and it's going to show you exactly the coding changes that were made. And you can take a look at all the values here. And once again, this gives you a ton and a ton of information here. You can be able to check a lot more details. And once you're done, you can just X out of it. And if you wanted to delete a particular version that you don't need anymore, you just click there, and you can be able to just delete. And it's going to delete this permanently, so make sure. And if you want to keep the changes forever, it should keep forever. You click on whatever changes you want to keep forever, and you just use the keep on or off, and you get this message up here. And then you notice that you have this lock here. But the content versioning is really amazing. When this came out, people were just so excited about it, because there have been several times for me that I've been working on an article and I save and close, but then realized that I deleted something that I needed. But it was unfortunate because I couldn't get it back. I had to redo things over. But with content versioning, you can be able to go back and see some of the things that maybe something from a previous version that you wanted to keep, or you didn't mean to change. Whatever it is, this allows you to be able to go back and retrieve stuff, edit, so that you can be able to present exactly what you want